I received a very interesting message too, that I would like to make a reflection here. I find it very pertinent. It is a very simple story, but it caught my attention. One day a teacher arrived in the classroom and told students to prepare, because they would take a surprise test. Everyone hit their lines, waiting for scared the test that would come. Everyone has gone through this, right? That teacher who arrives and speaks. Oh. Today I was cold in the belly every time my teacher spoke, a tournament of facts. Remember that? And I, very smart, ended up buying that pencil that had a table, right? It worked 2 classes. Then she found out that I searched. Then the teacher was delivering, and then the test sheet, with the part of the text turned down as usual, should be mimeographed. I was remembering the mimeograph. We were almost dizzy, so much that he smelled alcohol, because the teacher delivered right when he was around. Smelling of alcohol inside the room. Then he delivered to everyone. After everyone received, the teacher asked them to unravel the sheet. To everyone's surprise, there was not one written question, not a text. Just a dark round point in the middle. The teacher, analyzing everyone's surprise expression, said the following. Now you will write a text about what you were seeing. All confusing students then began the difficult and inexplicable task of making a text about that image. After the time, the teacher collected the leaves, put in front of the class, and began reading the newsrooms aloud. All, without any exception, defined only the dark point, trying to explain their presence in the center of the sheet. After reading, the room in silence, and the teacher then began to explain. This test will not be for you to have any grade. It is just to serve as a lesson for all of us. No one in the room talked about the blank sheet, but all centralized their attention in the dark point that was in the middle. So it happens with our lives. We have a whole blank sheet to observe, enjoy, but we always put our attention on the dark point. So life is a gift of nature given to each of us with extreme affection and care. We have reason to always celebrate the renewal nature, the friends who are present, the job that gives us the livelihood, the miracles we witness daily. But yet we insist on looking only at the dark point, the health problem that worries us, the lack of money, the difficult relationship with the family member, the disappointment with the friend. The dark points are minimal compared to everything we have daily. But they are the ones who populate our mind. Very interesting, isn't it? And that's so real, isn't it, my people? Many situations we face. Many situations that I find from my life. I find it very interesting that when we only see the problem, we really fail to understand the totality of life. It is the same when a plane crashes. Why are we afraid of flying? Those who need to fly regularly from time to time begins to have their syndromes there. From time to time I have this. It is because every day millions and millions of planes take off and return to their destinations without any problem. But from time to time, I don't know. From year to year, it depends a lot on the time. Sometimes many planes fall at the same time. But sometimes you spend a long time without hearing the story of an accident. But when it happens, our eyes turn to that tragedy, to that evento. And that is enough to put in us insecurity. The other day, for example, I went through a travel situation from Sao Paulo to Rio de Janeiro on a flight with a lot of turbulence. Horrible. One of the worst experiences I've had in my life inside an aircraft. We shaken from Sao Paulo to Rio de Janeiro within a terrible storm, with rays all the time. And then at the time, of course, everyone fear is general. That's sacred. Goes up. Goes down. Goes up. Goes down. That noise, right? Inside the plane, all shaken. It is natural for us to think we'll fall. Only if we'll think from statistics. We know that being in heaven is safer than being in Dutra, even in the midst of that turbulence. But now, who said that at the time we are living that suffocation? We are able to think with this tranquility. And that's why rationalizing a particular situation helps us reduce the negative emotion it causes us. This is philosophy, see? Applied clinical philosophy. When we are able to rationalize a situation, we somehow put in the collar the emotion that makes us suffer. Because the thought arouses an emotion. It's always like that. When you awaken this emotion, I end up being taken because I am sensory all the time. I am an open field. We are open territory. We are hit by words. We are hit by images. We are hit by images. We are hit by gestures, and immediately this information passing through our brain triggers a way of feeling what is happening. And often the solution of the discomfort that emotion causes is in the rationalization we can make it. This is an intelligent attitude, right? God teaches us this all the time. It is amazing how Jesus did this to people. Jesus knew that what he was doing was uncontrolled emotion. Then he had a word to reorient that emotion without control. That's why we really believe our conversion goes through our mind. Why? Because the mind transforms our way of feeling. When I'm used to just looking at my problems, when I live with avalanche that these problems cause emotionally in me, when I am not able to rationalize them and balance them to refer a solution to them, I risk being hostage to these uncontrolled emotions. And Jesus, he lent. He gave that person a new way of looking at life. That's what he did to Zacchaeus. That's what he did to Peter. That's what he did to John. He changed the feeling from a thought. This is very interesting because we can talk like that didactically, but when we are living, reason and emotion are in the same package, right? But we have, as the moment the emotion is dominating us, trying to put a halter in this emotion so that it will not harm us. It's just like you. It was abandoned. Let's say you had a boyfriend, you were in love with him, he cheated on you, left, and now you live the discomfort of not being next to him. It is an emotion. It is an emotion that harms you, because this emotion, it makes you feel thrown away. It makes you feel despised. Now, how can you save yourself? Prevent this emotion from continuing to throw you into a well that is later difficult to leave. It is you to rationalize. If he left, it's because I don't represent him much. If I don't represent him much, it is not worth suffering for him. Then you start to have irrational information to try to organize affective disorder. What did I really lose? When your boyfriend goes away, what do you really lose? Have you lost concrete situations? Or did you lose projections you had in that relationship? Or dreams you had that you didn't even know they were going to be realized? Sometimes, my people, we suffer for a future that we don't even have. Many times, the moment we lose, you not only lose what you really lost, but you lose the expectations you had about what you were losing. But you see, expectations are not concrete realities. Who guarantees you that what you were really dreaming about would happen? You see, when rationalizing this, you start to give yourself an opportunity to look at life in a different way. Then you can even play with yourself, right? Left. Maybe it took the possibility of having a disgrace in my life, because I didn't know how marriage was going to be with this creature all. That is why faith helps us think positively. Do you know why? When we lose something and we have faith in God, we solve it like this. God knows what he has done. Is not true? This greatly relieves people's suffering, and this is real, because it goes through the person's mental scheme. It is a faith that interferes with the way of thinking. When that person was able to say, God knows what he does, I lost. The job, it didn't work out. The trip I dreamed so much didn't work out. You better put this phrase inside your heart. Since you can't change the result. True. God knows what he does. The trip did not work. I remember now, I think a month ago, in that first problem of the volcano in Argentina. Chile, who canceled all the flights that would go to Argentina. I was boarding an event there at Guarulhos Airport. Then I found a lady with both daughters, and then they were very happy when they saw me. And then they came to talk to me in the check-in line. We chatted, and I asked, "Where are you going?" She said, "No, priest. We are now coming back as home. That we have been here since 5 o'clock in the morning trying to board for Buenos Aires. We had scheduled a weekend there. It didn't work. We can't go. We lost everything." This was almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and they needed to go back to Campinas. They had even given up going to Buenos Aires. "So," I said, "Wow, but how sad, right? The expectations of us frustrate." Then you, the girl's mother, turned and said like this, "Father, I was really very upset. I was boring," cried. But now it came to me something like that in my heart. It was not to be. We will not die today. We will have the opportunity to go to Buenos Aires on another occasion. I won't be causing greater suffering than I have caused so far. What can I do? The volcano is there, judging your ashes. God knows what he does. And she used this phrase, which I find extremely wise. So we put the moment we can't change the result of an investment we made. Loving is investment. Sometimes we love that person, want to be by her side, but she doesn't want to be with us anymore. Instead of you diving and fostering, multiplying this suffering, glue it in your heart. I lost. The rings are going, the fingers are, right? Don't you have this expression either? We will not pay attention to what we lost. Let's give life a new opportunity. Feed this expression of faith within you. God knows what he does. If it didn't happen, it was because it was not supposed to have been doing. And this is a detachment, my people, which requires a lot of simplicity from us, but it can work. When we, in fact, interpret faith as this interference from God in our lives, modifying the facts or even not allowing what we would like to happen, we can solve this event of us like this. Simply, "No, it worked out, all right. I'm here. I'll have new investments. I'll have new possibilities. I'll make new friends. I'll get a boyfriend." Finally, you, in the face of your frustrations, end up finding a way to continue it.